Hello, I just want to show you one of Janome's newest models, which is the Janome 5060 QDC. So it's a really nice computerised machine. I'll show you that by switching it on. It's got a digital display. It comes with some really nice features, 60 stitches and speed control. It's got automatic thread cutter, so scissors, that's always a bonus. Needle up, needle down, start, stop. The other thing I like about it is it's got easy access here too, and really nice lighting. This dial is for the presser foot pressure. It's a lovely easy thread bobbin and an easy drop-in bobbin, which I'll show you in a moment. Comes with a variety of feet as standard. So we've got the blind hem foot, we've got the applique foot, we've got the zipper foot, we've got the over edge foot, but it also comes with lots of other lovely extras as well. So this is a cloth guide, a walking foot, which is a great thing. So not just for quilting, it's great for curtain making or anything where you've got lots of layers. So this is another a stitch guide as well. An open toe applique foot, because it's got some beautiful stitches, so that's a really nice one with that. And a free machine embroidery or a darning foot, and a 1/4 inch foot. So really, other than a concealed zipper foot, there's not many other feet you really need for general sewing. So this machine will suit anybody, dressmaking, homemaking, quilt making. Oh, another foot, I forgot it, it's always in here, is the buttonhole foot. So I'm going to show you how to do a buttonhole as well, hopefully during this video. On top of that, it also comes with an extension table. So I'm going to put the extension table on, and we just remove this little front bit here, and the legs just pull out, and then it just sits on there like that. So it gives a really nice extra wide table, especially when you're doing things that are quite heavy, like curtains or something with a bit of drag, like a quilt. It gives you a lot more room to work. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you, to move those feet out of the way for a bit, is how to wind the bobbin. So it's got a horizontal spool holder. So we just thread that on. It comes with different size caps to hold the thread in place. And we're just going to pop it through the tension control here. The bobbin is just going to click onto that bobbin holder, and we're just going to wind it round a few times, and then it's got a little thread cutter underneath. And as I push it over, you'll notice that it's gone too. It already knows that it's going to wind the bobbin. And I've got my foot pedal already in, and it's showing me that. So if I now I can put the speed up a bit. So the bobbin's nicely winding. I could, if I wanted to, take the foot pedal out. So the foot pedal's no longer showing there, and use the start-stop button. So that's really nice. You're going to make yourself a little quick cup of tea. That's probably enough for now. I'm going to pop the foot pedal back in. So the bobbin winding is really, really simple. You've got a little thread cutter still there, so you can just use that to cut the thread. And then where you put the bobbin, it just pops out like that. We always say you put your bobbins in as a P for perfect. So if you imagine that's a letter P, drops in. And then because of this special design here, we just need to catch it into both of these grooves. That's the little tension bit there. Take it up and around, 1, 2, and then there's a little thread cutter there. That's it. And then we pop that in. We don't need to bring the bobbin thread up unless we want to, in which case then we just put the needle down, needle up, but of course we can't do that because we haven't got the machine threaded yet. So now we're going to thread. So as long as we can count 1 to 5, I'm sure we can follow this. So there's number 1, number 2, up and around, and then through the take-up lever is a very crucial point. And this is why I like this, just to make sure, and if we get any bits of broken thread, it's easy to access there. We can see where we're going. There's another little one at the top of the needle bar there. And it's also got a needle threader. So to use the needle threader, I'm going to now put the presser foot down. It is a bit fiddly, but once you get used to it, it's fine. So bring the needle threader down, create a little L shape and then bring that back. It creates a little loop at the back, and then I'm going to just pull that. So, you know, we do say practice makes perfect on that one. So there we are, we're ready to sew. So our default stitch, whenever we switch the machine on, it's always going to default to a 0, 0, which is our straight stitch. And it's straight stitch with the needle in the middle position. So this is our stitch selector number. So we go 0, 0 right up to 59. And then there's two little cursors there. We can move those along to change the stitch length or the stitch width. Obviously with a stitch width, with a straight stitch, it's not going to change the width, but it would change the needle position. I'm just going to show you. So we're on straight stitch, needle position at the moment is 3.5. If you watch the needle, we can actually take it in 0.5 millimeter increments anywhere we like to. So it's really good for really fine lining where you want your needle. If you find yourself in a pickle, one of the best things I say is to switch the whole machine off, switch it back on again, and we're ready to straight stitch. So I'm just going to show you how this stitches. So this is with straight stitch, with needle in the middle position and a default length of 2.4. So obviously we've got our speed control, that's determining there. So it's nice and smooth. The other thing I love about it, it stops with needle down. So you don't have to ask it to stop with needle down, it automatically stops with needle down, which makes pivoting nice and easy. So we just check our stitches, it's really nice and neat on top and bottom. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use the thread cutter. So if I push that, literally pull it out, there we are. It's cut it right at the very end. So that's really nice, a lovely feature to have scissors. So let's have a talk about what these different things do. So if I go to a zigzag stitch, so up to 6, the zigzag stitch for 6 is a default of a stitch width of 3 and a length of 1.5. So if I just do a few stitches, it does a little stay stitch at the beginning. So there we are, that's what a 3 width and a 1.5 looks like. It's quite small, delicate zigzag. But let's just say I want to make it a wider, longer zigzag. I'm going to move these cursors over to the stitch width and I'm going to go up to its maximum. If I push that again, it makes a little sound. It means it can't do any wider than that because we've got a 7mm foot, so it can't go wider than 7. But we can take this, we've taken the width up to 7, we'll take the stitch length up to say 2.5. And then that's what that looks like. So I'll stop and pivot so as you can see. So you can see just by manipulating the different stitch width and stitch lengths, you can still change the stitches. So I'll put the presser foot down and cut the thread again, and we'll take that out. So nice neat stitching, top and bottom, that's what we like to see. So on here as well, we've got some lovely decorative stitches and buttonholes. So I'll just show you a quick decorative stitch. We'll choose whatever, I don't know. Let's choose number 55. So we need to take our cursor back to there, and we can go backwards to 55. There we are. And it's giving you a default of 7 wide and 2.5. So I'm just going to show you what this is like. Decorative stitches are lovely. They don't have to be used just for quilting. You could use them on the edge of a t-shirt or a garment, or just to finish off a project. So this is number 55, this is a little swirl. So if I push this button now, it will take it to the end of that design and then stop for me automatically. Push the scissors, so you don't finish in the middle of a design, which is really rather nice. As you see, it's finished there. So that's that. So it did say here, sorry, and I should have perhaps changed the foot, but on the screen it says use foot F, and that's one of the applique feet. So obviously it worked with a foot A, but that's the foot F, and so the screen is telling you other things that you can do. So let's just have a look at a buttonhole. So that's number 16. So instead of going all the way down to 16, I can now move that cursor over one more time, and now I can come down in 10s. So that's 15. I want to go 16, so I can go up one, and that's now 16. That's a buttonhole. So it's also telling me that I need foot R, and I need to bring my doobry down. I don't know what else it is. I call it a doobry. Everybody laughs. So we're going to take the foot off. So by taking the foot off, it's very simple as well. There's just a little black button here, and I push it and the foot drops off. So that's there. Okay, so now this is the buttonhole foot. So it kind of moves, depending on the size of your button, it will create the buttonhole size that you need. So example button, we'll pop the button in there, squish it down. So that's now the size of the buttonhole it's going to make for this size of button. So to fit the feet, it's got a little bar there. It's got an extra lift on this as well when you've got bulky stuff. So you just line it up with the bar and then use the presser foot just to drop it down. So that's caught like that. That's it. So the screen's telling us that we need the R foot, which we've just put on. We're on number 16, which is the straight buttonhole. And we need to find the doobry. We'll bring the doobry down, and this is the little stopper that's going to tell the machine how far to go to make this buttonhole. So it's all very clever stuff. So if we see on the screen here, we've got our foot pedal in. I'm actually going to take the foot pedal out because this is one of those lovely opportunities to not use the foot pedal. So we've done everything it's told us there on the screen. We line our fabric up, and the buttonhole goes backwards. So let's find a little space over here. So I'm going to put the presser foot down, and literally all I'm going to do is just go up a little bit of speed and press start stop. And what it's doing, it's taking the thread up, and then it comes down one side, and go up the other side. This is really a truly automatic buttonhole. And as long as you've got it set up properly, there's no reason why your buttonholes won't look like this. So it stops automatically, makes a little noise to tell you it's stopped. I can press the scissors, and literally that's it. Okay, so just use the little unpicker. This comes with the kit as well. Comes with the machine. There's a little blade. I tend to go in one side and then cut to the middle, and then do the same with the other side, and then it saves you going all the way and getting excited and going whoop all the way through. But anyway, there's the buttonhole. So if we put the doobry back up, take the buttonhole foot off, and then pull that button out, and we'll just test it. So check it's the right size. It certainly is. Look at that, it's perfect size. This machine will also sew the button on because we can lower the feed dogs, but I'm not going to show you that now. So we're going to pop the A foot back on. So same way, line it up, use the presser foot, and then just grab it like that. So as I say, the easiest way then for getting back to a straight stitch, switch the machine off, switch it back on again, and there we are, back to a straight stitch. So the other lovely thing about Janome's is their instruction book. They are always in English, and the diagrams are incredibly good. So, you know, you can't get lost with those. Absolutely brilliant. So that's the 50/60. I hope you've enjoyed this. Give us a thumbs up if you have. Bye-bye.